Welcome, 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 amazing people of planet Earth, to the next episode of Free Minds Thrive. I want to talk to you today about something really important, but first, I just want to pause and breathe. I start these episodes and I have a tendency of jumping right in because I am genuinely excited and enthusiastic about the topic we're discussing, and I just want to jump right in. Usually, it's a topic I've been thinking about for a while, and I'm just itching to hit the record button and get the mic in my face. And here I am, and I jump right in. And today I just said, you know what? Hold on a second. Pause and breathe. Gather your thoughts. Now, to be fair, I've already gathered my thoughts, but I just want to be here with you for a moment and not jump right in. Is that okay? Is that all right with all of you? Can we do that? I appreciate so much, I think beyond what I can put in words, that there are people listening to my voice right now and that are taking the time to fill their head with the ideas and thoughts and concepts and themes that we are putting out here on Free Minds Thrive. That you said, I want to hear Bobby Vincench speak to me while I'm washing dishes or relaxing or falling asleep or folding clothes or whatever it is. Hopefully you don't have me on while you're hanging out with your kids or something, unless they're listening in and learning as well. Hopefully you're absolutely focused on the more important priorities and tasks that you have going on, and then you come to this stuff, right? For supplementary material and learning and experience. And wisdom, quite frankly, wisdom. I like to believe that I'm spreading wisdom with this podcast and with the stuff that I share. Otherwise, to be blatantly honest with you, I wouldn't be doing it at all. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing yourself to the conversation as a listener, but I also hope you will go out of your way to bring yourself to the conversation as a participant. Contribute in some way, bring a contribution to the conversation by either finding me on social media, responding, commenting under my videos, commenting under my shares, whatever it is. Tell me what you think about all of this. And if you don't want to do that and you're not on social media, but you do want to interact with me, please email me. I am happy to take email comments and respond back to you as quickly as I can and share my thoughts about your thoughts and have a conversation, or just to take your feedback, whatever that is, and to contemplate and think about it. So I appreciate you guys being here. I want to hear from you too. So please do email me. You can reach me at bobby@freemindsthrive.com. bobby@freemindsthrive.com. Tell me what you're thinking, and I'll be happy to think about it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, let's jump right in. Today, I want to talk to you about this idea that you are not whole and complete when you have problems in life. You are not whole and complete and perfect when you have problems and challenges in life, when you are imperfect and can continue to grow. What do I mean by that? Well, some people will tell you, you are enough. You are enough. And quite frankly, you are not enough. You are not enough. If you're hearing that for the first time, it might be a shocker. You might even be a little bit offended. You might be thrown off and like, what are you talking about? I am enough. How terrible would it be to think that I am not enough because I am not perfect, and therefore, in my imperfect state, I'd like to think I have value and I have worth. Of course you do. You don't have to be enough at your worst, enough at your lowest points to have worth. You have innate value because you are here. I believe you are here on purpose as a divine spiritual being living in a physical world. That's what I believe. But you don't have to share that belief with me to understand that you have value. There are people that rely on you. There's an experience you're living out that is worth it just because of the experience you're living out. So yes, you have worth. Yes, you have value. But no, you are not enough where you currently stand. And I'm going to explain that to you. I'm going to tell you my thinking and my philosophy behind this. And I really want to hear what you think about this, because at first you're going to find this to be absurd, but I want you to just contemplate it for a moment and really think through what I'm saying. Imagine being a person who is not perfect. And that's every one of us, okay? So you don't really have to imagine, but just imagine it in your mind. Visualize it for a second. Visualize yourself on a day where you make mistakes, on a day where you identify something that you're just not doing to your full potential. You're tired, you don't feel well, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, it's like if I just had the energy or the focus to get through this day, I just feel like, ugh, today. And how many times, how many days of the week do you sometimes just wake up feeling like, ugh? You know what I'm talking about? You just don't feel like this is going to be one of those good days. And when those days come, and that's really every day, but there are some days that are particularly clearly days that are not going well for you, not only because things are happening to you, but you are just not performing at your best. You know you should have gone to the gym, but you don't. You know you should have eaten a healthier breakfast, but you settle on a bowl of sugary, junky cereal, whatever the thing is, right? You're just not having one of those best days. Your daughter or your son or your significant other tries to talk to you and you just short fuse, you just snap at them. Or you say the wrong thing and then 5 minutes later you're like, I wish I handled that better. It's just an off day. Or it's a regular day, and because you're not perfect, you slip up, you make mistakes. This happens all the time. Why? Because none of us are perfect. We are on a never-ending, constant journey to get it right. And what does that mean, get it right? If we're on a constant journey to get it right, it means that we're not right yet. It means we're not perfect yet. And by the way, side note, very important side note, you're never going to be perfect. So it's a little bit of a conundrum when you consider it that way, right? Because you can never be perfect. But your job, your mission in life is to strive for the greatest level of perfection that you can reach in this life as yourself. Your job, your goal every day should be to maximize your potential, which you're never going to reach. Crazy, this concept, when you really think about it. You'll get to your last breath, but still there will be more that you could have and perhaps should have done. There's already things in your life you didn't do well enough. Because prior to you realizing you could have done that thing better, or you should have done it better, prior to getting the lesson that you learned from that experience, that potentially negative experience, prior to that, you didn't know any better. You were nowhere near the perfect you. But now in this moment, are you still the perfect you now? Because of all those experiences, are you now perfect? No, you're probably better than ever, I hope. And if you're not, there's stuff you can do about that, right? So don't beat yourself up. Don't get too hard on yourself here. Wherever you are in your life, wherever you are in the fluctuation of up and down and up and down and up and down, hopefully over time on an upward trajectory, like the stock market, right? You look at a stock market ticker, it's kind of up and down and up and down and up and down, but it's mostly going up over and over and over. You're never perfect. There is no end to going up. There's no number you reach where you're like, this stock is perfectly performing. It is exactly where it can be. Well, the perfect stock would be infinite in its value, right? It would reach the highest number it could possibly get to. So sometimes you go down a little bit, but you're up and you're down and you're up, but you're generally on that upward swing over time. You should be. You're learning things. You're getting better. You're getting wiser. You're getting smarter. You're figuring yourself out. Hopefully you're figuring the world out a little bit more. And if you're staying genuinely curious and open-minded about the world around you, that's exactly what should be happening. You should be feeling like you're understanding things better. You're gaining a greater understanding and connection with yourself, with the world around you, but you're never perfect. And we all know that instinctually. You know you're not perfect. Even when you start hitting the gym and you're getting healthier, you should be proud of yourself. You should pat yourself on the back. You should celebrate your wins so that you're identifying them and highlighting them for yourselves. So that those of you out there who are sometimes too hard on yourselves or you're too negative, when you get a good thing going, absolutely talk about it, celebrate it, feel good about it. But don't stop. It's not good enough. See, guys, when you take on this mentality of it's not good enough, so I gotta keep going, you can still take your breaks. You can still breathe. You can still relax from time to time. Absolutely do that to restore yourself, give yourself a break, give yourself some mental clarity and some time to just step out of the situation so you can go step back in with a refreshed mindset and hopefully a rejuvenated body as well. Take the breaks. relax from time to time. You will never be perfect, so you can relax from time to time. But don't relax so much that you've accepted the worst version of what you can possibly be today. Every day you should be striving to do your best. Speaking to your spouse in the best way you possibly can, with as much patience and kindness, understanding and love, but also honesty, as you possibly can. To enjoy them, to enjoy yourself, to make people feel better, to be somebody who contributes to other people's well-being as well as your own. That you are contributing generally, overall, on average, positive contributions to the world. And patience and kindness and understanding and love and honesty, all these things contribute to that. And you do the best you can because you can never get it exactly right. But only you know if you're really doing the best you can, and only you know this if you're being honest with yourself. If you are truly being honest with yourself, you know if you're doing your best. Or you know if you took a cheat day. You took a little break day. You say, today, I didn't really do everything I could have. There's so much more I could have done. Okay. Get back up tomorrow and do even more. But you know when those days are, right? And even on the days you're putting it all in, you're all there, you're totally focused. You're like, man, this is one of those days. If I could have these days every day, I would be freaking unstoppable. I would be perfect. This would be the greatest thing. And yet, even on those days, you're going to slip and fall. Even on those days, you're going to skip a beat. Because it just happens. We can't be perfect. But when we're doing our best, at least we know what? That we're doing our best. And in that way, when we're doing the best we possibly can, we're doing good enough. But you are not enough. Why? How could you be doing good enough, but you're not enough? Because guys, while you have the potential to be all you need and more, while you have the potential to be the greatest version of yourself, you're doing all the right things, you're treating people right, you're constantly growing, you're constantly learning, you handle situations as best as possible, you're being patient, you're being thoughtful. At times you're being cunning, careful, strategic. You're doing all the things, right? Even so, there's more for you to do. And when you kick back and kick your feet up and grab a drink and watch TV and say, I'm good enough. You know, I've done it. This is okay. This is good enough. And I'm already everything. I am enough. The problem is so many people take that idea, I am enough, and they use it as an excuse to pretend to be comfortable, an excuse to pretend that they've already done what they need to do by just existing. And you just existing is not the best you. Nobody just sitting there doing nothing is the best them, because in fact, when you do that, you're not being you at all. You are an action taker. You are a person who moves pieces of the world around. You are a person who has an impact, has an influence on the world around you. And you don't do that when you sit around and you are enough. No, you're not enough. Unless you're doing your absolute best every second of the day, all the time. And how many people do that? The vast majority of people are not living up to their greatest possible potential every day. Perfect? No. But your greatest possible potential in that given day? Sure, you're capable of it, but are you doing it? And is it okay to just be you and that's enough? Because you're here for something. What I'm saying is you're here to do something, meaning you're here to make something happen. Anything, something, do something, get out there, make the world move, make the world yours, move the pieces the way you want them, make the world a better place. Express yourself, enact yourself, emanate all of your greatness out onto the world, help people, pick people up, boost people, tell people the truth, learn things and share them with people, challenge people, love people. Action, action, action. Every one of these things we're talking about takes effort. None of them are completely passive. You cannot just sit there and be love and others feel it. You can't just do that. Anyone telling you can is lying to you, and they might not even know it. They're saying it by accident. They're lying to you on accident. I don't assume most people are doing it on purpose. I like to think better of the world. And I really do believe most people are saying what they think to be true. But when you really think about it, can anyone just be and they are enough? Imagine a seed starting to sprout, and then it's told you are enough, and it stops. Why? Because you are enough. Stop right there. You don't need to go anywhere else. You are enough. The seed stops as a sprout and never continues growing. Never continues sprouting out and expanding and growing leaves and getting height and getting girth and expanding its roots and pushing through the force of the soil. But you are enough, little sprout. Stay right there. No, you are not. You've got to bust your butt. You've got to put the work in to get better. It takes effort. I love my daughter more than anything on the planet. I never knew I could love somebody or something so much, and so much more than I even love myself. And I know for many parents out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My daughter, I love her no matter what. It's unconditional. I don't care who she is and what she does. I will always love her. But I still expect the best of her. I have standards for my daughter because I want her to have standards for herself. And she's learning what can be expected of a person through the people around her. I try not to allow her to ever feel like my love for her is conditional. Me and my wife have conversations about this all the time. I don't want this kid to feel like we only love her under certain conditions. However, love is not just rainbows and butterflies and hugs and kisses. Love is also caring for someone to be their best. Love is also using your care and concern, your deep divine devotion to that person to help them reach their greatest potential within their capacity. So I don't just say to my daughter, you are enough, just be there. I do tell her I love her more than anything. I do tell her I'll love her no matter what. But you know what? We have to love ourselves too, guys. And you know when someone tells you, relax, it's okay, you're going to screw up. You're enough. You are enough. And you try to believe it. You want to believe it. Oh my God, would it be easy to just say, I'm enough no matter what I do. No matter what I do, I'm okay, I'm enough because I'm me and I'm here and I'm loved just because. Yeah, by some, I love my daughter just because. But from her perspective, what kind of life is she going to live if I lead her to believe that in and of herself, just in her current state, that she is enough? Now, you might be thinking out there, no, that's not what people mean. Oh, but that's what people are saying. You understand words have consequences. Language has meaning. So we need a better phrase than you are enough. It is confusing to people because you will continue growing and the new you should be better. A future current version of yourself. Meaning when the moment comes from the future and you are now that version, you should be even better than you were now. Are you enough now? Well, you are the potential for something greater. So now you must invest in doing the work so that in a later version of yourself, you are even better. Not enough now. Capable of more. Not enough now. Capable of more. Not enough now. Capable of more. How are we supposed to build confidence and resilience? How are we supposed to feel greater and better about ourselves? How are we supposed to know that we made our lives better through action if we are not expecting more from ourselves? How are we supposed to take the wrong thing and turn it into doing the right thing? If I am already enough, then the wrong things I do will be forgiven because I am enough in my current imperfect form, and that's that. No, I have to do better. I have to treat people better. I have to work harder. I have to create more. I have to be smarter with my time. I have to treat my body better. I have to be healthier. I have to do the right things in the world. I have to have a moral code and stand up for it and meet that moral code and not desert it and abandon it when I'm tempted by something or when things become hard or when the pressure is on or peer pressure or whatever it is. I have to do better. I am not enough if I'm this version of myself where I know I can do and be more. What kind of message does it send to a person to tell them you are enough? You are amazing. You are capable of so much more. I know you can do it. You are already awesome, but I know you can be more awesome. And think about what it means to each of us. Think about what it means to my daughter if I were to tell her that, in her own mind. Because she's not going to have a bunch of her dads walking around the world loving her just because. She's not going to have a bunch of her moms unconditionally loving her. The world expects things from you. You have to prove your worth. You have to prove your value to strangers and people who don't have that blood connection with you, that spiritual, deeper connection because they made you. Like, let's say, your parents. And assuming you have good parents, they've tried to make you understand how much they love you. You should feel love from your parents. You should know you have that. That's important. But the world isn't going to be okay with you just being you. If you're a piece of you-know-what, walking around the world, not being a good person, that's going to have consequences for you. And for the people who are unlucky or lucky enough to cross paths with you. Yes, you have to do more. And not just for others, but because who you are and how you see yourself is in many ways heavily dependent on who you are reflected off of other people. So you have to do better. We each know if we're doing everything we can do. We each know if we're living up to our full potential. Each of us knows if we are doing our best. You know if you did your best today. Did you wake up today and make all the right moves? Did you wake up today and have a plan? Did you execute on that plan? Did you treat everyone right? Were you patient, kind, understanding, loving, truthful, honest with the people in your life when they needed it and how they needed it from you? Are you proud of every decision you make? Did you take full advantage of every opportunity that came your way? Or did you kick back at some points? Or did you kick back at some points and take it easy? Did you kick back at some point and just accept, I could do a little lesser than and I'll be all right, just like every other day, right? You start to get complacent. Did you do that today? Or did you do your best? Now, see, we each know if we've done our best. So why is that important? Because when someone comes along and tells us, you are enough, you are enough, you are enough, we know if that's a lie or not. We know deep down, no, that's not enough. I made mistakes today. I was not the best I could have been. I know I didn't live up to my potential. I've got problems. I've got problems I need to solve. I've got challenges I need to overcome. I've still got work to do. I am not enough yet. And it is that drive toward wanting to be better than I currently am, to want to be a better servant to the people in my life and the people that I serve, to myself, to my daughter, to my clients, to my people, my friends, my family, everybody. It is that drive to do better and be better that makes me better. And if I did not have that drive because I am enough, then I can kick back once in a while. And when somebody tells me you are enough and I start believing it, ooh, I'm enough. Now I could kick back and what? Do nothing? Do less than I'm capable of? And it's okay. I know I'm lying to myself. Now what does that do to a person? Psychologically, deep down, what does that do to a person? Knowing that I can do better, but accepting and lying to myself and telling myself I am enough. Now, again, there are people out there who are going to say, but that's not what's meant by it. It means this, and they're going to try to wrap their own interpretation around the phrase, but the phrase says what it says. We don't need to play word games. We're speaking the same language. Stop trying to twist things and manipulate things to make it work for you. What do the words say? Oh, that's what they mean. You, the subject, are, at this moment, enough. There's your cap right there. You don't need to be more. You are enough. No, Bobby, that's not what it means. That is exactly what it means. I just broke it down. We don't need to lie to ourselves to prove to ourselves we've been right all along. We need to seek the truth in the world. And the truth is that phrase doesn't tell the whole story. It lies and misrepresents the truth to people, and it makes people accept complacency in a false sense of comfort that there's nothing more you have to do. You can just be because you, the person, are right now enough. There's nothing more to do. And there are still people out there hearing my words right now who have a problem with this. And it's because you've accepted it and you don't want to have to go back and rethink it. But words matter. What we say and how we talk to ourselves matters. It matters. If you have dinner in front of you and somebody goes to scoop more mashed potatoes and put it on your plate, and you stop them and you say, "Oh, no, it's okay. Thank you so much, but I have enough." What does that mean? There's no more to be had. There's no more to be had. If you go to sleep at night and you wake up in the morning and you're like, a good night's rest, and your spouse comes to you and says, "How'd you sleep last night?" You say, "I slept good." And they say, "Okay, you got enough sleep because we got a lot of yard work to do." "Oh yeah, I got enough sleep. Let's go." That means there couldn't have been any more. That was enough to achieve greatness, fullness, completeness. That point that you are at right then and there. If you didn't get enough sleep, you would say, "I didn't get enough sleep last night. I did not get enough sleep last night. There was more that could have been had. I could have used more sleep. I didn't get enough." So we all understand that enough means it's good enough where it is. There is no more to be had. Are you telling me that there's no more of you that this world can get? There's no more of you that you can achieve? There's no more of you, no more potential that you can strive toward? When you say and accept, "I am enough." I propose something different, and you can settle on your own term. And I don't have a final conclusion on exactly how I would word it. Perhaps there's some room for discussion here, and you guys can help me figure it out. We could do this together. But something more like, you are amazing and capable of so much more. You have even more potential, but you have been doing great. But Bobby, it doesn't roll off the tongue the same. It's longer. Okay, but it's truer. You are amazing so far. You've been through a lot. You have stories to tell. You have experiences that you've achieved that matter. And they add to all the things you're going to do in the future, all that experience, all that knowledge, that wisdom. You're going to do even more. But at this moment, you have more to do, and you will to your last breath. You are not enough, but you are amazing and capable of even more. I want you to contemplate this and think about what the words you say to yourself mean to you and for you and about you. I want you to think about the words that you just accept because some wellness guru said it online, on social media, or because you heard it so many times you thought, "Oh yeah, it's true, and it sounds simple enough. And it makes me feel better because now I'm off the hook for having to do anything. If I do or I don't do, I am enough. Woo!" And that's why we're in the world we're in. That's why we have the low expectations of people and of ourselves that so many people have today. Because these phrases, these ideas that we're passing around and accepting without really thinking about it. And I hope in this conversation you've thought about it a little more. I hope you understand what I was trying to explain. I hope it means something to you. And if you don't feel that there's any reason for you to change how you view this term, if it's a term that you've accepted in life, or if it has nothing to do with anything you've ever said to yourself and now you're contemplating it, I still hope you think about it. Because this won't be the first term or the first phrase or saying that will have some kind of impact on your psyche, that will affect the way you think about your life and affect the moves you make or don't make. There will be more because there are many messages out there and they all have an impact on you. It's important that we stop and think about the things people are saying to us and that we're accepting. And it's important that as we choose which things to accept and not accept, we're doing it intentionally after having carefully thought about it. So many people accept these ideas that come from other people just because it came from someone else and you don't want to think about it. But I want to encourage you to really think about the ideas you're putting in your head, in your children's heads, and think about what those things could mean over time. Because words do have impact. The things we tell ourselves do mean something and do have an effect on us. And it's important that we're wise and intentional and thoughtful about those things. So guys, thank you so much for being here with me. You are all amazing. You are all capable of so much. You're amazing in what you've achieved so far and what you've gotten through. And the potential of what you're going to be capable of doing in the future as you step it up and do even more and do even better and expect even more from yourself is going to shock even you. You are not done growing. You will be even more than you've ever been, and your potential is seemingly limitless. Because you should keep striving, even as you achieve greatness, to do even more great things till your last breath, and perhaps into the next realm of reality, into your next chapter of existence. Keep going, keep doing better, and do not let up and accept where you're at today. Keep getting more. Take your breaks, take your rests, rejuvenate, refresh, pause, but then keep moving. Because life is a journey. Life is a highway. Okay, sorry. And you got to keep going and keep growing. Take it easy, everyone.